The small town of Ashwood, nestled on the outskirts of America, was home to a mysterious ancient mansion that cast a haunting presence over the community. The decrepit structure stood as a testament to a forgotten era, its weathered walls shrouded in eerie tales and whispered legends. Within the town, a young and ambitious paranormal investigator named Ethan Davis emerged, captivated by the enigmatic stories that surrounded the old mansion. Ethan was driven by a relentless curiosity, his inquisitive nature pushing him to explore the unexplained phenomena that gripped the town's imagination. With a reputation for delving into the supernatural, he had garnered both admiration and skepticism from the locals. Undeterred by skepticism, Ethan was determined to uncover the truth behind the tales that had long plagued Ashwood. The mansion, known as Ravenswood Manor, stood as a chilling reminder of its former grandeur. Time had taken its toll, leaving the once majestic structure in a state of decay. Its Gothic architecture, adorned with intricate carvings and towering spires, had become a haunting silhouette against the darkened sky. Locals whispered that the house was cursed, forever bound to the tragic events of the past. Ethan's fascination with the paranormal had led him to study the mansion's history meticulously. He discovered that Ravenswood Manor had once been the residence of a young bride-to-be, Amelia Holloway, who had met a tragic end on the eve of her wedding day. Legend spoke of her sorrowful spirit, forever trapped within the mansion's walls, eternally weeping for the life she had lost. As whispers of the sobbing bride reached Ethan's ears, his determination intensified. He yearned to uncover the truth behind the ghostly apparition and bring peace to the restless soul of Amelia Holloway. Armed with his knowledge, an assortment of paranormal investigation equipment, and an unwavering resolve, Ethan prepared to embark on a journey that would test the limits of his courage and challenge his beliefs. With each step he took toward Ravenswood Manor, Ethan could feel the weight of history bearing down on his shoulders. The chilling wind whispered secrets of the past, echoing through the overgrown gardens and shadowy corridors. As the moon illuminated the mansion's haunting facade, Ethan steeled himself for the encounters that awaited him within those ghostly halls. Little did he know that his pursuit of truth would lead him down a path filled with heartache, revelations, and the ethereal presence of the weeping bride. The stage was set for a confrontation between the living and the dead, as Ethan prepared to face the ghostly entity that had haunted Ravenswood Manor for centuries. Whispers of the weeping bride echoed through the town of Ashwood, carried by the hushed voices of its inhabitants. The tale of Ravenswood Manor's tragic past had been passed down from generation to generation, ensuring that the legend remained alive. According to the locals, Amelia Holloway, a radiant and vivacious young woman, was set to be wed in a grand celebration that would have marked the union of two prominent families in Ashwood. Her betrothed, Edward Sinclair, was a respected member of the community, and their impending nuptials were anticipated with great excitement and joy. However, fate had a cruel twist in store. On the eve of her wedding day, tragedy struck Ravenswood Manor, casting a dark cloud over the festivities that were meant to ensue. Amelia, adorned in her wedding gown, was found lifeless at the foot of the grand staircase, her dreams of marital bliss abruptly shattered. The circumstances surrounding Amelia's demise remained shrouded in mystery. Some whispered of a broken heart, claiming that she had been consumed by despair and sorrow, unable to bear the weight of expectations and the sudden loss of her beloved. Others speculated that foul play was involved, that someone had deliberately sabotaged the union, leaving Amelia to meet her untimely end. Regardless of the cause, the consequences were etched into the very fabric of Ravenswood Manor. It was said that Amelia's anguished spirit lingered within the mansion's walls, forever trapped in a state of perpetual sorrow. Her presence was marked by mournful cries that reverberated through the halls, haunting those who dared to venture close. The townsfolk recounted eerie encounters and unexplained phenomena that occurred within the vicinity of the manor. Some claimed to have glimpsed a ghostly figure in a tattered wedding dress, its ethereal form wreathed in a translucent mist. Others spoke of hearing inconsolable weeping carried on the wind, a mournful lament that echoed throughout the night. Visitors to Ravenswood Manor often reported sensations of being watched, a chilling presence that sent shivers down their spines. Some even claimed to have witnessed objects move of their own accord, as if manipulated by unseen hands. The legend of the Weeping Bride had become deeply ingrained in the town's psyche, casting a veil of unease over the community. As Ethan delved deeper into the lore surrounding Ravenswood Manor, he uncovered a tapestry of tragedy and despair. The story of Amelia Holloway's death had become entwined with the very essence of the mansion, perpetuating the belief that her spirit had become forever bound to its hallowed halls. Determined to unravel the enigma that shrouded the Weeping Bride, Ethan embarked on a journey that would test his courage and delve into the depths of the supernatural. Little did he know that the answers he sought would lie not only within the haunted manor, but within the hearts of those who had been touched by Amelia's tragic fate. The legend of the Weeping Bride beckoned him forward, its whispers of sorrow and lost love calling him to uncover the truth and bring solace to a restless soul. Ethan Davis, driven by an insatiable curiosity, embarked on his exploration of Ravenswood Manor, determined to unravel the mysteries that lay within its aged walls. Armed with a notebook, a camera, and a collection of paranormal investigation equipment, he delved into the history of the mansion, seeking clues that would shed light on the Weeping Bride's restless spirit. His first step was to immerse himself in the vast archives of the town's historical society. Dusty tomes and faded documents revealed glimpses of Ravenswood Manor's past. Ethan meticulously combed through records, piecing together the narrative of the estate and its ill-fated inhabitants. He discovered letters, journals, and newspaper articles that chronicled the events leading up to Amelia Holloway's tragic demise. Each fragment of information fueled his determination to uncover the truth. Venturing beyond the confines of the library, Ethan sought out those who had encountered the supernatural presence within Ravenswood Manor. He interviewed elderly residents who could vividly recall tales of strange occurrences and encounters with the Weeping Bride's ghostly apparition. Their testimonies painted a vivid picture of a tormented spirit, perpetually trapped in her anguish. Ethan's inquiries led him to Mrs. Evelyn Simmons, the last surviving member of the Holloway family. The elderly woman, her voice laced with a mixture of trepidation and nostalgia, recounted her childhood memories of the mansion. She described inexplicable cold drafts, whispers carried on the wind, and the distinct feeling of being watched by unseen eyes. Mrs. Simmons warned Ethan to tread carefully, cautioning him that Ravenswood Manor held secrets that should remain undisturbed. Undeterred by the warnings, Ethan ventured into the heart of the mansion itself, armed with a flashlight to pierce the veil of darkness. As he explored the abandoned rooms and corridors, a sense of foreboding enveloped him. The air grew heavy with an unexplained chill, causing his breath to form ghostly mist in the frigid atmosphere. Zagadkius Zvozovsky, a renowned paranormal investigator from Russia, once said that the spirits could make their presence known through subtle signs. Ethan's investigations echoed this sentiment as he began to experience phenomena firsthand. Faint whispers echoed through empty chambers, their words barely discernible. Shadows danced along the walls, defying the flickering candlelight. The distinct sound of footsteps echoed in the distance, growing louder and softer in an ethereal rhythm. Ethan's heart raced as he captured these inexplicable occurrences on his camera, hoping to capture tangible evidence of the Weeping Bride's existence. The paranormal investigation equipment he had meticulously assembled registered anomalous readings, further confirming the presence of an otherworldly force. The deeper Ethan delved into the mysteries of Ravenswood Manor, the more he realized that he was treading on hallowed ground. The weight of the past pressed upon him, urging him to uncover the truth and bring peace to the tormented spirit. Determined to face the Weeping Bride head-on, he steeled himself for the challenges that lay ahead, preparing to confront the ethereal entity that had haunted the mansion for far too long. The moment of truth had arrived as Ethan prepared himself for a direct encounter with the Weeping Bride. Armed with a mix of trepidation and determination, he entered the heart of Ravenswood Manor, guided by the sorrowful whispers that seemed to grow louder with each step. The air hung heavy with an oppressive energy, as if the mansion itself resisted the intrusion of the living into its haunted domain. Shadows danced and swirled, their ethereal forms casting eerie silhouettes on the walls. Ethan's heart pounded in his chest, the sound reverberating through the silent halls as he ventured deeper into the mansion's secrets. In a dimly lit chamber, he felt a sudden drop in temperature, a bone-chilling cold that seeped into his very core. The atmosphere crackled with an electric energy, and the room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly presence. It was here, amidst the faint scent of wilted roses, that Ethan first glimpsed the apparition of the weeping bride. Her spectral figure materialized before him, clad in a torn and tattered wedding gown that flowed like mist around her form. The ghostly bride's face bore an expression torn between anguish and anger, her eyes haunted by an eternity of sorrow. Ethan stood frozen, caught in the gaze of the tormented spirit. The weeping bride's mournful cries echoed through the room, her voice a piercing wail that sent shivers down Ethan's spine. The intensity of her emotions radiated from her ethereal presence, her sorrow and rage mingling in a haunting symphony. The walls seemed to tremble under the weight of her anguish, the very foundation of Ravenswood Manor groaning in response. Fear coursed through Ethan's veins, but he summoned his resolve, determined to understand the depth of Amelia's pain. With trembling hands, he reached out, his voice quivering as he spoke words of empathy and compassion. He acknowledged the tragedy that had befallen her, promising to uncover the truth and bring justice to her unfulfilled existence. As he pleaded for understanding, a change came over the ghostly bride. Her mournful wailing softened, replaced by a glimmer of recognition in her eyes. Ethan's words seemed to pierce through the fog of her sorrow, offering a sliver of solace in the darkness that had consumed her. In that moment, the atmosphere shifted, and the weeping bride's ethereal form began to dissipate. Her figure faded gradually, like a vanishing mist, until all that remained was a profound sense of peace. The room filled with an ethereal light, as if the weight of centuries of sorrow had been lifted. Ethan stood in awe, his heart filled with a mixture of sadness and relief. He had glimpsed the depths of the weeping bride's torment, and in doing so, he had facilitated her journey towards peace. The encounter had left an indelible mark on his soul, forever reminding him of the power of compassion and understanding. With the vanishing of the ghostly presence, Ravenswood Manor transformed before Ethan's eyes. The oppressive atmosphere lifted, and the mansion seemed to breathe a collective sigh of release. The curse that had plagued the house for centuries had finally been broken. As he stepped out of the once haunted mansion, Ethan knew that his mission had been accomplished. The weeping bride had found her solace, her spirit finally free from the shackles of her tragic past. News of the mansion's transformation spread through Ashwood, and the townsfolk felt a renewed sense of peace and tranquility. Ethan, forever changed by his encounter, continued his work as a paranormal investigator. The legend of the Weeping Bride became a cautionary tale. As Ethan continued his research into the tragic history of Ravenswood Manor, he stumbled upon a hidden secret, a revelation that would provide the key to helping the Weeping Bride find ultimate peace. Buried deep within the archives, he discovered a forgotten tale of betrayal and deceit, intricately entwined with Amelia's untimely demise. The newly uncovered evidence pointed to a shocking betrayal within the inner circle of Amelia's trusted confidants. It appeared that Edward Sinclair, Amelia's betrothed, had conspired with her own sister Victoria to sabotage their impending union. Greed and envy had clouded their hearts, leading them down a treacherous path that ended in tragedy. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Ethan confronted Victoria, now an elderly recluse living on the outskirts of town. The weight of guilt and remorse etched deep lines on her face as she reluctantly confessed to her part in Amelia's fate. Overwhelmed by guilt, Victoria revealed the extent of her involvement, how she had conspired with Edward to deceive and ultimately destroy her own sister's happiness. With the truth exposed, Ethan's mission took on a new dimension. He sought justice not only for Amelia, but also for the weeping bride's sister, whose guilt had consumed her for years. In a somber meeting, Victoria joined Ethan in paying their respects at Amelia's graveside, their collective grief mingling with the soft whispers of the wind. Together, they embarked on a ritual of reconciliation, a solemn ceremony that aimed to release both Amelia's and Victoria's souls from the clutches of their shared pain. In the moonlit garden of Ravenswood Manor, they invoked forgiveness and understanding, their words infused with a profound desire for redemption. As they spoke, the ghostly figure of the weeping bride materialized once again. But this time, her countenance had changed. The anger and sorrow that once consumed her had softened, replaced by a glimmer of forgiveness. Victoria, trembling with a mix of fear and remorse, reached out to her sister's spirit, tearfully expressing her regret and seeking absolution. In a moment that seemed to stretch into eternity, Amelia's spectral form embraced Victoria, her forgiveness radiating from her ethereal being. The weight of guilt that had burdened both sisters for so long lifted, dissipating into the night sky. The weeping bride's anguish was finally assuaged, her spirit finding solace in the act of forgiveness. With a final, sorrowful smile, Amelia's ghostly form began to fade once more. This time, however, her departure was accompanied not by mournful cries, but by a gentle breeze, carrying the fragrance of blooming roses. The specter of the weeping bride had found her release, her sorrow transformed into serenity. As Ethan stood there, witnessing the culmination of his journey, he felt a profound sense of fulfillment. The curse that had plagued Ravenswood Manor for generations had been broken, and the spirits of the past could finally rest in peace. The mansion, once a place of sorrow and despair, was now filled with an air of tranquility. News of the weeping bride's liberation spread through Ashwood, and the town celebrated the newfound harmony that had settled upon Ravenswood Manor. It became a symbol of redemption, a testament to the power of forgiveness and the resilience of the human spirit. Ethan, forever marked by his encounters with the supernatural, continued his work as a paranormal investigator. He carried with him the lessons learned from his journey, cherishing the importance of empathy and compassion in the face of tragedy. The legend of the weeping bride transformed from a tale of sorrow to one of healing and redemption, serving as a reminder that even in the darkest of circumstances, there is always hope for resolution. Years had passed since the resolution of the weeping bride's mystery, and Ravenswood Manor stood as a testament to the transformative power of closure and forgiveness. The once dilapidated mansion had been lovingly restored, its walls radiating a newfound warmth and serenity. The ghostly whispers that had once haunted its halls were replaced with echoes of laughter and joy as the manor became a place of gathering and celebration. The townsfolk of Ashwood, forever impacted by the events that unfolded within the estate's enigmatic confines, experienced a collective shift in perspective. The tale of the weeping bride had become a cherished part of their folklore, a reminder of the importance of compassion and understanding in the face of tragedy. The small community thrived on the newfound harmony that infused their daily lives, their bonds strengthened by the shared journey they had undertaken. Ethan Davis, now a seasoned investigator of the paranormal, often reflected on the transformative nature of his encounter with the weeping bride. The haunting melody of her sorrow still resonated within him, a constant reminder of the fragility of human emotions and the power of forgiveness. The experience had shaped him in profound ways, instilling in him a deeper empathy and a profound respect for the mysteries that lie beyond the veil of the physical world. His adventures had taken him to many haunted places since then, but none had left such an indelible mark on his soul as Ravenswood Manor. It had become a pivotal chapter in his life, a testament to his unwavering pursuit of truth and his unwavering belief in the inherent goodness that exists within each person, both in life and beyond. As Ethan sat on a park bench, overlooking the now vibrant gardens of Ravenswood Manor, he marveled at the interconnectedness of the universe. The story of the weeping bride had brought together a broken family, reconciling their pain and offering them a chance for redemption. It had also united a community, reminding them of the power of compassion and the potential for healing in even the most tragic of circumstances. Closing his eyes, Ethan breathed in the scent of blooming roses, mingled with the faint whisper of a long-forgotten melody. He knew that the weeping bride's spirit had found solace and liberation, her sorrow dissipated by the winds of forgiveness. And in that moment of reflection, Ethan found solace too, knowing that he had played a small but significant role in the healing of souls and the restoration of harmony. With a renewed sense of purpose, Ethan Davis continued his exploration of the unknown. seeking out the untold stories and unsolved mysteries that lingered in the shadows. But wherever his investigations led him, he carried with him the lessons learned within the walls of Ravenswood Manor. The Weeping Bride's legacy lived on within him, a constant reminder of the resilience of the human spirit and the transformative power of compassion. And as the sun began to set over Ashwood, casting its golden glow upon the town and the once haunted mansion, Ethan embraced the beauty of the present moment, knowing that the Weeping Bride's tale had become a timeless testament to the enduring power of love, forgiveness, and the eternal quest for peace.